Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than freshman outfielder on the softball team here at Menlo College, Taylor Warne. Taylor, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by talking a little bit about yourself. Now, a few weeks ago on the show, we had the queen of eyebrows, and now apparently we have the queen of eyelashes. At least that's what Ariana Velarde told us. So tell me how particular you are when it comes to your eyebrows, or eyelashes. Eyelashes.
I'm very particular. Like, I do not leave the house if they're not perfect. I probably check them at least 4 times before I leave the house. I'm very particular on them.
Or before you leave your room going to class or something like that?
Yes. I check them all the time.
Or before coming into an Unrooted interview, apparently,
yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is going to be really funny and really embarrassing for me to say.
Okay.
Would you say that they are on fleek?
Eyebrows
on fleek?
I would say, yeah.
I can't believe I just said that live on an interview. But so what's the secret? How do you get them to be so long?
Well, I also put in fake ones on top of mine.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's the secret. But I would say I'm pretty good at putting them on. I don't know.
How long does that take you? What's that routine like?
Oh, it doesn't take me long. It
really?
Probably takes me longer to look at them and check on them than it does to put them on.
Because you're a perfectionist when it comes to that. So usually it's fine, but then you're I just want to make double, triple, quadruple times sure.
Yeah, I want to make sure
it's going to be absolutely right. Okay, gotcha. Now, Aurora, Colorado is where you're from, and it's fairly close to Denver, and I've heard, even though I've never been, that if you like the outdoors, you got to go to Denver or the Aurora area, somewhere like that, because it is one of the best places to be. Aside from the many sports teams that are around in the area, what are your favorite things to do when you go back home?
Well, I like Red Rocks Amphitheater. That's 45 minutes from my house. And I go there all the time, whether it's for concerts or just to go look at the scenic. I go boating a lot with my family, the nearest lakes. Some of them are a couple hours, but we usually make the trip. So I like to hike a lot. So nice. Yeah.
Best show you've seen at Red Rocks?
I went and saw Chance the Rapper at Red Rocks, and that was probably the best show I've ever seen. It was literally amazing.
Because isn't it that the acoustics are really good at Red Rocks?
Yes.
That's what it's supposed to.
It's just you're down almost in a hole, and so the music is I feel it's just louder, and then as you're watching the show, you can look over and see all the mountains and literally see Denver, and it's beautiful.
That sounds absolutely spectacular. Yeah. Now, I also know you're a Denver Broncos fan.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Have you been following them at all this offseason?
Some, but not too much. More of just hometown fan,
Okay, just because you're...
Yeah, because I'm from there.
Because you're from there. Mm-hmm. So, have you been to any games before?
I have.
How many? Do you?
Probably 10.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
What? Who was your favorite player?
I would say Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, yeah, you can't go wrong with Peyton Manning. I was right in that same boat. I'm not a Broncos fan by any stretch, but I am a Peyton Manning fan. Was a Peyton Manning fan. Mm-hmm. So when he went to Denver, I was like, okay.
Yep.
Kind of root for the Broncos a little bit. You can't really root against Peyton Manning unless you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
That's the only.
That's the only time.
Yeah.
Only time.
Now let's talk a little bit about the team here. Last weekend was a long one for the Oaks. You guys played 6.5 games down in Arizona and in SoCal. What's the key to staying mentally fresh and also physically fresh when you have so many games in such a short amount of time?
On the physical side, I know we focus on drinking a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade. We usually try to sleep as much as we can. People are usually sleeping when we're driving back to the hotel. We, as soon as we're done with dinner, get back in bed after study hall and stuff. So physically, we just try to take care of our bodies. We have mandatory recovery every week, so that helps a lot. Mentally, I know we always stick with a one pitch mentality. That helps us stay in on every single pitch and not to get ahead of ourselves and just focus on each one so we're going hard every single time. I think too we hype each other up and really try to motivate each other, so that way we're never really down or going too slow. We're always ready to go.
And it was really working on Friday. The Oaks found a lot of success offensively against the Firestorm. You put up 32 runs across 2.5 games against ACU. What was clicking for you ladies in that series against the Firestorm?
We focused a lot on passing the bat and just, focusing on doing your job for the person in front of you and the person behind you. We focused on, same thing, one pitch mentality. Just focus on this pitch that's coming right now and do your job.
And now you have just 3 weeks left in the regular season before the GSAC playoffs, and right now the Oaks are currently third in the standings. How important is it to finish the regular season strong, knowing you're going through teams in conference one more time?
I think, one, to show the other teams what we're made of and, give them a run for their money this second time around. I think we also want to put our best foot forward when we go to playoffs. So we want to get some momentum and just keep building that confidence. So when we go to playoffs, we're ready to go.
Now, after the Thursday doubleheader against Notre Dame Daniel Murray, you have a rematch on Saturday against San Diego Christian. They upset you once earlier this season, just a couple of weeks ago. What's the key to preventing that this time around?
Last time we played them, we came off hot right away and we scored 3 runs in the first inning. But then after that, our bats went a little quiet. So after playing Arizona Christian this last weekend, we kind of saw a team who just never let up on the brakes and always kept going every inning, just took one more base, one more inch. So I think we're going to stick with that mentality and really just go hard every single inning, every pitch this game, and don't let up.
All right, Taylor, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1, which teammate is most likely to mess up your eyelashes intentionally?
So I was going to pick Keely for this one because Keely talks to me all the time about how she, wants to mess up my eyelashes, and I'm like, oh, it's literally not funny, Keely. No. I'd absolutely not. And she's like, I'm going to do it one day, and I'm like, no.
And she's also an eyebrow makeup thief, too, right?
Yes.
As we discussed last time with Ari, so
Yep.
I wouldn't put that past her at all.
No, she would do it 100%.
Something about messing with makeup on this team. You just
I
can't
know.
trust Keely in that
I know.
department. Question number 2, which teammate would most likely somehow, some way, cause an avalanche?
I think Nohea. She doesn't know the snow very well. She's only seen it once. I think she also likes to have fun. She'd probably mess with me, and then next thing you know, just whole avalanche.
Yeah, she might just get a little bit too excited seeing snow for the second time in her life. You just go oh my God, there's snow! And then all of a sudden,
It would just be
because
avalanche.
she shouted it so loud, all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Avalanche just raining down. And then question number 3, if sailing on a boat, which teammate is most likely to fall off while trying to pet something such as a dolphin?
Well, originally my first thought would have been Regina, just because she
Of
gets
course.
excited and I'm sure she would fall right off. But I came to find out that Malia, my teammate, has actually done this.
No.
She was in Hawaii and she was on a boat and she got super excited about the fish down there and she went to take a picture and she fell off. So I guess Malia.
The most important question, because we know Malia's okay.
Right.
Is the dolphin okay?
Yes.
Was the dolphin okay? The dolphin survived this?
Yes.
Okay, good. How about her phone?
Not so much. She had a new phone.
No. Rest in peace to
I
that
know.
poor iPhone of Malia Johnson
Yeah.
that did not survive the fall into the water. Taylor, thanks so much for joining me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, folks. The softball team, they are on the road this weekend. They head back down to Southern California on Saturday, play a Saturday night doubleheader against San Diego Christian. The doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock, and you can catch the live stream on the portal page for San Diego Christian. We invite you to tune in to next week's episode of Unrooted Softball Edition when Taylor Warne will select the next interviewee by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on the show. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.